It's already Friday, but this training week isn't empty. This is usually the part where people mentally quit and check out, and then they'll tell themselves that they'll start fresh on Monday. But I'm not gonna do that. So this week didn't start quite as I had planned. I was hoping to get right back into training where I left off after Christmas, but I missed a pretty large detail, and that was that my family had booked a cabin in North Idaho for the new year. And suddenly it was Friday before I even knew it. And if I'm being honest, a year ago, this is where I would have completely written off the entire week. I would have told myself, what's even the point, and just waited for that perfect reset. But here's what I've learned. It's that a week doesn't need a perfect start in order to be useful. Your week just needs you to show up somewhere inside of it. So if you're watching this and your week already feels messy, maybe work ran long, family stuff took over, maybe you even missed the first few workouts, that doesn't mean the week is over. And it definitely doesn't mean your fitness disappeared. Now, I don't want this to sound like an exact carbon copy of last week, so I've got 4 days left and I'm gonna make the most of them. So here's the plan. Today, I have an hour-and-a-half bike session. Tomorrow, I'm swimming. Sunday, I'll run, and Monday, I have another bike session. Now, that's not making up for anything, it's just finishing the week strong instead of quitting. Now, it's time to get into this bike. Also, I left my other cycling shorts in Reef's room and he's taking a nap right now. So I'm using these older bike shorts and they are sheer. So I'm gonna have to wear shorts over them because none of y'all wanna see that.
Call it lit, big, I still get into your microchip. Simple, but I still like a lot of it. Extra sauce on mine, they always pay attention to me, I don't pay no mind. I'm living life, no strings attached, but I just wanna climb. Play my position like a champ, I'm always throwing dimes. Oh well, life's a beast, I'm trying to beat the boss until she KO. Life a trip, I'm on the gas, I'm hoping that I stay woke. Sitting back, watching days go. Bye, I'm the king of sinking, name no Show you what that monster do, what that monster do.
Okay, as you could probably see, this week's plan has already been derailed a little bit because today is Saturday and the original plan was to go for a swim tonight, but my wife and I ended up hanging out with some friends today and it went a little bit longer than expected and my gym closes at 8 p.m. and we didn't get home until way later than we thought we would. So I ended up swapping today's swim for the bike that I had planned on this upcoming Monday, so I'm stoked that I could still get in some work tonight. But these rides weren't about proving anything. It wasn't a comeback ride, it wasn't punishment for missing rides in the previous weeks with the holidays. They were just kind of the first domino to fall. And I think that's something a lot of people actually miss. You see, when you miss workouts and then you feel guilty about missing them, especially if you have holidays going on, family stuff happening, or just general life happening, you don't need to feel motivated to start again. You just have to push that first domino and momentum will follow. But anyways, for the stats from yesterday's bike and tonight's bike, I'll go over those really quick. Got to adjust the camera here. So last night's bike workout, I literally thought it would never end. I thought I was stuck in a purgatory of some sort because every time I kept looking down at my Garmin, I swear 10 to 30 minutes would have passed, but in reality, maybe 1 to 5 minutes had passed. But it was an hour and a half. I did a total of 16.18 miles. My average speed was 10.8 miles per hour. My average watts was 83. But I did have some sprints in there, so my max speed was 28.7 miles per hour. Average heart rate 130 and max heart rate 170. And then also my max power was 547 watts. Now for tonight's bike workout, it was only an hour long and I did a total of 12.4 miles with an average speed of 11.4 miles per hour. My average watts did increase a little bit, so I was sitting at around 101 average watts. My max speed was 29.4 miles per hour. Average heart rate was 129. Max heart rate was 155. And this is really cool, my average heart rate being at 129. I'm also really working in that zone 2 cardio. Obviously not for the whole thing because I had a lot of sprints in the first half, but when I see my average heart rate pretty low on a lot of these workouts, I get really excited because I know I'm building that cardio base, and that's something that I've really wanted to do for a long time. And then I can't remember if I said this, but my max heart rate was 155 and my max power was 581. So not the craziest numbers for the past 2 workouts, but again, it was all about knocking that first domino over, especially after coming off of holiday season and life just getting incredibly busy. So I think if I can manage to keep knocking out these 4 workouts for the rest of the week, I'll be in a good spot to carry that momentum into week 15. but it is 9:46 right now. I'm ready to get some food in me, and I have to take a shower and then get ready for bed.
Yeah, woke up, I feel good. Gotta fight, gotta right, gotta left hook. Out of sight, out of mind, I gotta stay up. Gotta stay focused, I just gotta look up every day.
All right, long run today. You know, it's kind of funny how your expectations shift as you stack weeks. A few months ago, I would have been nervous about going into a run like this, but today I'm mostly just curious. So I've been on the bike for the last 2 days in a row, and honestly, my legs feel pretty good. Now, that's not something I'm trying to take for granted, but I am paying attention to it. So I'm hoping I don't have any crazy surprises on today's run, having done those 2 bike sessions in a row. But it's time to get outside and get running. Also, got a pair of shocks for Christmas, as some of you suggested in one of my earlier videos, but these things are so sick. As some of you might know, I have some experience in jiu-jitsu, so I have cauliflower ear. So AirPods are pretty much a no-go for me when I'm on my runs. Even when I'm just sitting at the computer, a lot of times they'll work their way loose and they'll fall out, but definitely on my runs, they fall out all the time. So I drop them on concrete, on the asphalt, and they kind of get beat up a little bit. But with these things, I don't even know they're there. They have great sound quality, and I can also hear everything that's going on around me. So if a car's coming up behind me, I can be aware of it. Oh yeah, these are the Open Run Pro 2. I don't know if you can see that there, but anyways, let's get into this run.
What shall I do so that I may inherit eternal life?
Looking at him, Jesus showed love to him and said to him,
One thing you lack. Go and sell all you possess and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come, follow me.
All right, it is about 54 to 58 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is a lot more comfortable than my last long run, which I think it was sitting around 27 degrees. So today I'm not dealing with any of the pains of starting out the run really cold. It's actually quite comfortable. But this is one of those runs where I'm not actually chasing anything. I'm not chasing a particular time, not really intentionally trying to stay in a certain cadence. I'm just keeping my heart rate low and see what else comes. So I'm not really trying to force anything. I'm just letting the legs warm up, just get them to the point where I'm feeling really good, and then just see how the legs show up today, especially after a couple days off. And honestly, it's that curiosity that really keeps the training interesting for me, especially having that really athletic background and then kind of letting myself go for the greater part of maybe 2 years, seeing how my body is responding to this new modality of fitness. I don't know, it's really something that just kind of interests me. So I'm having fun. Kind of to piggyback off the point I was making earlier, I think once you start training and then you've trained long enough, the question is no longer, can I do this today? But it becomes, how does this make me feel today? And I think that's a more useful question when it comes to your training. And not only is it a useful question, I think it's also a big benchmark in your training, because you're no longer scared or worried about whether you can complete the workout or not, because you now know you can, and your mindset shifts to, how is this workout affecting my body today and how is it making me feel? Which I think is really cool. And I think if you've gotten to that point in your training, I think it's all right to give yourself a pat on the back, because that's a huge benchmark. I'm about 2.5 miles in. Everything's feeling pretty smooth so far, and not worried about pace. I'm not worried about mileage, just running, having fun, and it feels pretty good. On work location this morning, doing some stuff out on a pickleball court. Whoa, that sun is bright, but I just wrapped up some work on a location, and now I am headed back to the studio. Gonna do a little bit more work there, and then today I have got a swim, which I'm actually really looking forward to. But kind of unfortunately, like I was saying yesterday, I wasn't feeling too much of the pressure, I guess fatigue from doing 2 bike sessions in a row and then my run. But today I think I'm really feeling that. And I don't know if it's because I've been on my feet all day. So it's just been kind of a nonstop go, go, go type of day. But my legs are definitely feeling sore today. My feet feel a little sore-ish, not too bad, but mainly the legs. So I'm hoping tonight's swim isn't too bad with the legs, because sometimes, at least when I first started swimming, I would get these like kind of weird cramps in my hamstrings, and it's probably because I was kicking too hard, poor technique, all that stuff. However, as of late, that hasn't really been an issue, and luckily the soreness is mostly in my quads. Again, I'm really hoping I don't feel it on my swim. I just really want it to be a nice smooth swim today, because I am also feeling pretty dang tired. I had to wake up earlier this morning. Again, I am not a morning person, at least as of right now. But yeah, I had to wake up earlier than I normally do and then go get this work project done on the location. Yeah, so overall, feeling pretty tired today, but still feeling good. Okay, so like I said with my run yesterday, I didn't go into it with any expectations or any goals really. I just wanted to make sure that I maintained a relatively low heart rate, which I was able to do. However, some of my numbers were, I would say, maybe a little discouraging, but also I'm not really beating myself up about it because I got in the time that I needed to get in and I also maintained a low heart rate. So that's cool. But let's see, I did a total of 51 minutes and 41 seconds. It was technically supposed to be 55 minutes, but I cut it a little bit short. And then my average heart rate was 133 beats per minute. So kind of stoked about that. Average pace, I was a lot slower this run. So I was at 13 minutes, 14 seconds per mile. And my total distance was 3.91 miles. Let's see, and then my max heart rate was 151. There was an uphill segment, so that kind of spiked it up a little bit, but not really too bothered about that. And then my average run cadence was 171, so that was super cool. I didn't really go in trying to pace myself with music or anything like that, even though I was listening to music. Oh my goodness, I'm getting so many messages right now. But yeah, I was able to maintain a pretty consistent cadence throughout the whole run as well, without really having to put much effort toward it. But anyways, I gotta get back into the studio and get some more work done and then go into tonight's swim. Also, as of late, my wife has been making this ground turkey and rice, and it is one of my favorite meal preps that she makes. And then I put a little balsamic glaze on it with sriracha, and it is like one of the best things I've ever eaten. Okay, I just pulled up to the gym. Like I was saying earlier, my legs are definitely feeling it today, especially after the 2 bikes in a row and then the run right after it. So I'm honestly really glad it's a swim today and not one of the other 2. Otherwise, I would be complaining about it. But yeah, legs are tired. Luckily though, head feels pretty clear and I am excited to get into this swim, even though I am feeling pretty exhausted right now with the early morning. But sometimes that's the trade. Clear head for a tired body, you know, I'll take that. But this session isn't about pushing anything. It's about giving my body a chance to keep moving without demanding too much of my legs. Sometimes that's what training is. It's not about pushing every single time. It's not necessarily the effort is the point of the session, but just showing up is the point. So I'm tired, but I am grateful that I still get to be here and move my body. I'm grateful I can still get the work in, but in a way that allows me to recover a little bit and not just dig a deeper hole for myself. So today I'm gonna get in the water and focus on just being super smooth. Enough lollygagging from me. Let's get this swim done. Okay, so for today's workout, I've got a 150 warm up, 7 rounds of 200 smooth, and then 50 fast with like 20 seconds rest in between. So I do that 7 times and then just a nice 100-yard cool down. So I think 2,000 yards in total. So not too bad, but I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit nervous for today's swim. Time to get it done.
Culture super wishy-washy, always changes stances. Threw away my old self, it was getting rancid. Everybody put your hands up with angels chanting. Hallelujah, a server got a second chances. When I'm strung out, a server got a second chances. When I fall down, a server got a second chances. When I'm hellbound, a server got a second chances. Didn't get what I deserved as a dark child.
It's kicking my butt, that is for sure.
Every circumstance, yeah, I throw up my hands, yeah. With a God of second chances. Fell right down on my face and got up again. Watching Jesus' glory take my place, he was summoning. Sick and tired of all these artists' faith lacking sustenance. Putting so much work inside our land, think I'm doubling. Oh Lord!
Oh, that is tough. Okay, finish up today's swim. And honestly, it went better than I thought it was going to. The 7 rounds of 200s was a little bit daunting when I was looking at my training peaks, but I managed to get it done, and I actually had a pretty decent pace. The lats were definitely feeling tight throughout the whole swim, so I know for a fact that I need to start focusing on just my overall flexibility, but especially in my lats, because I kind of have trouble reaching over my head. But my stats for tonight's swim, I did a total of, according to my Garmin, I did 1,925 yards, but I know it didn't track a couple pool lengths, so I was probably sitting around that 2,000 yard mark. Total time took 48 minutes and 48 seconds. Average pace was 210. Average heart rate was 133. So if you're new here, this channel isn't about perfect training weeks. I'm a busy father and I have a job, but what this channel is about is what real consistency looks like when you fit it around your schedule. What it is about is what real consistency looks like when life keeps interrupting your plans, because I think that's where most people actually get stuck. This week, I wouldn't say it was ideal, but it was effective, and I'll take effective over perfect any day. One of the biggest mindset shifts that's helped me this far with training and just with life in general is the idea that you don't need a clean start, you just need to have follow through. Most progress doesn't come from the perfect start every Monday. A lot of times it comes on the Fridays where you just decide not to give up on the week. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment and a like, and I will see you in the next one. God bless. Love you guys.